Our intro music is provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com.
The views, opinions, and representations expressed on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network and its website are those of the hosts, guests, and participants, and are not necessarily those of or endorsed by the network, its affiliated stations and broadcasts, the management, other hosts, or advertisers of the network. The shows found on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network can, but do not necessarily, promote any particular lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only, and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or condition, or give any medical or legal advice. You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com. Get ready for fun in the paranormal with your host, Richard Spasoff, on Night Dreams Talk Radio.
Welcome to the Richard Spasoff Show. I feel like right now we're having a paranormal experience. Am I talking backwards or something? Gary, are we okay?
Well, it depends if your doctor says if you are or not.
Okay, just want to make sure we're rolling. And I'd like to thank everyone out there. Wish them a happy new year. We have a wonderful new year ahead. I'd like to thank the whole staff over at Night Dreams Talk Radio. Tonight we have 3 guests. Just to give you heads up, our first interview is with Dr. Danger, and the second half of the show is with Praniewicz and danny-dechi. I appreciate everyone. We'll go into more detail of what everyone is going to talk about. But to start off with, let's bring our first guest on. I think he's, after he met me, his whole life has been a paranormal experience. Danger, are you there?
I am here, Richard. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. You know, I like to tell everyone that you are a world-class daredevil as well as a stuntman, and you were on the History Channel, you were on America's Got Talent. You're a wonderful person in general. I mean, I hanged out with you. I got to play with explosives. It was fun.
Yeah, that's always a good time.
You're the only friend I have that when I get to see you, I get to blow things up.
Right. Well, you know, we just try to get out there and entertain the fans, and that's pretty much what it's all about.
Exactly. I know, and you've been doing that for a long time. You've been you put your
30
life.
Years.
Yeah, I know. So have I.
Oh boy, I'm starting to double think every half year now. How many more times can I get away with this? You know, it's I keep tempting the gods. I keep tempting fate, and I've made it 30 years without the crash that'll kill me, but I've been on life flight 5 times, so I'm like wondering if I'm going to stop right before I get to the last one that takes me down, like a bank robber.
Well, can you
one more hit.
Can you explain to us one of the most memorable experiences that you had on Lifeline?
On life flight?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you know, a couple of times I was unconscious, and a couple of times I wasn't. They were usually okay. I didn't. My experience happened more in the hospital with my bad crashes. But I'm about 2 drinks ahead of you here in Texas right now.
Now, when you go through these crashes or you're unconscious, do you feel anything?
I had a flashback. I had some kind of like a, I go to my happy place, I guess, because I remember being in the car, but I don't remember what happened in the car. I kind of like tune myself out. If it takes them like an hour and 45 minutes to pull me out, I just go somewhere else, and it's weird. I don't feel anything. I go to another place, I guess.
So you're saying you have the ability in some way to stay away from the pain, to go to a peaceful place, right?
I I think so. Yeah. There's a couple other times that I wish I was passed out because of the pain.
Oh wow!
But so on it's the 2 episodes where I was trapped in the car upside down with it completely flattened out, and I was stuck in there for an hour and 45 minutes one time. I don't recall being in the car those times. I know it was horrible, though. It was horrific. Absolutely.
A lot of people don't know what to do when they're in a crash, but you deal with that every day.
I do, but, see, right now we live in a spooky world.
Yeah.
Everything's spooky. Everything's a mess. I believe that there's other dimensions around us that we can interact with sometimes, but we're like on a different plane in a different dimension. Like we just can't quite see them. But they live. I think there's souls and people around us. I can feel them sometimes.
Well, what are some of the experiences on that situation that you just talked about? Can you recall any?
About spooky stuff?
Yeah, about anybody. When you feel the spirits or people around you, are they people that are loved ones? Are they just spirits, angels, demons? What are they?
I think there's a lot of demons out there right now.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big believer.
Do.
Yes.
And you see a splinting shadow sometimes, and you think, what was that? And there's nothing there. But sometimes I just feel like I'm just in a web of other dimensions.
That's scary, though. When people think of it, I mean, anybody with common sense would be afraid of an evil spirit or demons. But I think with the type of work you've been doing, you run across that a lot, right?
Yeah, well, you know what? Here's kind of where it really does it for me. I go into a car, and I blow it up, and then I come out of the car on fire. And I've got 1,000 pictures of fire that's got me in it. Something that I'm always seeing in the fire and the pictures later is faces. Old people, young people, sailors, just all these nobody's smiling, by the way. All these amazing pictures are in the fire. So I think what's happening is it's another dimension. It's like with fish, they look out of the water, but they can't imagine what it's like out here for us. Well, when I go into the fire, hell is a real place that exists.
Yes.
Where there's fire is where hell is. So I go in there and I taunt them. I go into the car, I sit there with them, blow it up, I sit in there with them, I come out on fire, and it's like I'm there in their dimension for a moment. For a few moments, I'm in their dimension. And I think that we kind of meet there, but I always get away. I always seem to get back out of their dimension. But there's always really amazing faces in the fire. And that's just, like I said, I think it's real. It's another dimension, and it's where people are potentially trapped.
I believe it's real. Yes. And you're dealing with this on every time you make a jump. Before you make a jump, do you ever get the warning not to do it, or maybe not to do this stunt? And what do you do in that case, sir?
Well, I obviously have to do the stunt.
Right.
Yes, that's there's several of those. The more you get your ass kicked doing this job, the less you want to go out and get your ass kicked again like the last time.
Yeah.
So fuck. to say that this didn't scare me or make me nervous would be a lie, because I handle it well. I kind of cruise through it like nothing, but this is serious stuff.
But you have you're very much of an empathic, and you're very intuitive and a psychic medium. What you do, you make jumps and you face death every time, and there's the paranormal on the other side waiting for you.
Yeah, I at our Maquoketa, Iowa show about 3 or 4 years ago, for the TV show, I pulled my kid aside right before the show, and I told him, I'm going to start the show with this big ambulance jump, and if I don't make it, you need to be ready for your stunt. So you need to have your act together and perform no matter what happens to me. And about an hour later, I was in the helicopter.
Jeez.
So I knew to warn him. I knew to warn him somehow that it was coming.
And you knew this, but you still went ahead with what you were doing and faced it.
Well, it's like I knew it, but I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to think that it was going to happen because there's no backing out. When I go to work, there's no backing out, and so maybe one of these days it's going to be that feeling of this is the one. Man, it's really scary when you think about just driving down the freeway is scary, and I've had to drive thousands and thousands of miles to do all these shows, and so the show isn't necessarily the scariest part, but it makes you see how important life is, and making the most of what we have while we're here, and we don't want to be a ghost stumbling around in some lost dimension somewhere one day.
No, and I definitely don't see you as a ghost that's lost. I see you as a free spirit, a beautiful one, in fact. And I know you have a lot of courage inside what you face. And sure, we're afraid, but what stops that fear, Danger? What makes you go beyond that step?
That's where I exist. That's my dimension. That's where I'm alive. That's when I'm living at my highest frequency, because it's like a taut wire when I'm out there doing that. At the moment, I don't have a show officially booked for this year, and that's a little strange for me. I'm just right now kind of just I'm just waiting to see what comes. What's coming? I'm not trying to push it this time. It's
right.
My 30th year. Something's coming. And it's kind of like that same foreboding before a couple of crashes I've had. Something's coming. And see, the thing is, we're all going to have to face it.
Yes,
it's just like that stunt. The stunt, I have to do the stunt because I have to face it. And it's the thing that haunts me. It's the thing that could get me.
Exactly, and I think right now it's a time for you to rest, because you're going to be busy, I feel, within 6 months from now, a lot more. Right now you're going through...
Go ahead.
Right now I feel like you're going through a healing process for yourself. Is that true?
I am going through an understanding